Recently, I spoke to a client for a free initial consult, and she told me that basically she's healthy, young, all's well. She had been trying to conceive for a year, and nothing happened appropriately. So they went to a doctor and then the specialist. The doctor took her straight towards interventions, that is, medicating her to boost ovulation, which could make sure you're ovulating but also give you more than one egg, and to IUI, intrauterine insemination. Then she spent 10 months on that route and basically no success. First question I asked her, in the year you were trying to conceive without any interventions, did you ever see the cervical fluid have egg white consistency? And she said, a few times. And I said, do you mean a few times in that year or a few times a month? And she said, a few times in that year. And I said to her, ding, 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 ding. And it hurts me. It's sad for me that I was the first one of all of her medical professionals to ask this question and say the ding, 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 we got something on the nose here. Egg white cervical fluid this is not a fabricated idea or a belief or esoteric. It physiologically is the food that sperm eat to stay alive, hiding in the crypts of your cervix until the egg drops. We always want sperm in there prior. Egg white cervical mucus. Why is this essential and what is it? So in your cervix, depending on the hormonal fluctuations at different times of the month, there are cells that are specifically there to create secretions. And those secretions are the cervical fluid. And that cervical fluid works perfectly to keep the vaginal tract clean, to help you conceive, and to help you, once the sperm is in, once you're post-ovulation, to have nothing else get up into the uterus. It's all orchestrated. The cervical fluid is orchestrated by your hormonal fluctuations and balance. This is why, even if you have a slight hormonal imbalance, you're having basically normal cycles or a little bit late ovulation or a little bit long or a little bit short cycle, but it's basically okay, that indicates to us a slight hormonal imbalance, and this can very much affect how you're creating or not creating cervical fluid. Your fertile cervical fluid is wet, slippery, and an egg white consistency. Your top-notch fertile fluid is egg white cervical fluid, EWCM. It's not just sperm fluid, it is actually the ladder to get them through the vaginal tract safely in the proper pH and give them a direction to swim up into the cervix, hang out in those crypts, and wait for the egg to drop, which might be really soon, but you're also usually getting egg white cervical fluid 1 to 2 to 3 days before ovulation, and the sperm can hang out there. So try to conceive on any day you see egg white cervical fluid. The point being, the reverse could be a terrible consequence for your efforts trying to conceive if there is none or little egg white cervical fluid. Sperm could die on contact in the vaginal tract. And I say it like that, sperm could die on contact in the vaginal tract because we don't know. We're not fully in control. There's a lot of mystery in conception. But I'm not trying to teach people or help people understand what could or couldn't happen. And sure, you could get pregnant without egg white cervical fluid, because you can. What I'm trying to do is help optimize so that you'll get pregnant fast and that you have more chances in the statistical range to get pregnant. Your egg white cervical fluid is essential. So what do you do if you don't have it or you're not having it at the right time? Let's talk about the optimal time. You're going to see egg white cervical fluid from approximately day 10, give or take, for approximately 4 or 5 days, at least up until your day of ovulation. On the day of ovulation, it already might be slowing down, which is not a problem. It is not your peak day to try to conceive on the day of ovulation. Your peak day is prior. But you do want to have egg white cervical fluid, EWCM, every time you're trying to conceive by insemination or by sex.